All right. Check here. Yo, what's up everyone? Thanks for everyone who's joining today. Well, today we're gonna do a live stream. I have a few tracks that we're gonna listen through, and yeah, I will give some feedback and tell my thoughts about the tracks, and yeah, everything will go from there, I think. Let me know if there's something wrong, if you can't hear me or anything. Otherwise I will just keep going. All right, let me just check here real quick. All right, let's go. So first off, we have Cons Universe. So let us see what he sounds like. Okay, let's go. Beautiful track, I would say. I don't have a bunch of notes, really, to be honest. I think it's a great melodic house track for sure. A few things, I mean, just to point out anything, like arrangement wise, I think that the track is great, especially for a more kind of radio friendly song, I guess. Yeah, those like ear candies and synths in the background are really nice. Yeah, so nothing about the arrangement really. What I kind of miss, I guess, is some kind of mid bass or something. You know, like a Ben Böhmer bass or something like that you can like automate the cutoff of. So it's so you have the filter going up and down, just to make it a bit more interesting. Yeah, because the bass is kind of static right now, so probably just to spice it up a little bit, you could try add some mid bass, as I call it. You cut the sub of the bass and probably the highs also, so you just keep from maybe like, I don't know, 150 hertz to maybe 4000 hertz, just to fill out that gap, because now you can hear the chords and you can hear the sub, but you don't really have something there in the middle. So yeah, and I mean I'm doing this a lot in my tracks, so that's maybe why I'm doing just especially that kind of feedback. But I mean, for example, like there's some mid in that bass also, so you fill out that gap basically. And I mean, that's just a detail and also a matter of taste, but I really like when you have something more than just the sub, and this is like just details really. I mean, overall it's a great track. So yeah, so probably play around a little bit more with the bass. For once, try to add like a second bass that are playing more in the mid range, and also maybe try to play around a little bit more with the melody. I mean, of course the bass shouldn't be like the main part of the song, but maybe try to play around a little bit with the melody. Maybe something like that, you know, you play like a melody, doom, doom, boom, 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 boom. I don't know, but maybe something like that. And I mean, don't overdo it, but just try to add a few things, because all these kind of details really makes it from just a good track to sound like a really professional kind of track. Because this song is a perfect example of like a great track, a good track, but I mean, it's probably those last 10% that makes it go to the next like professional level, I guess. Yeah, and this kind of filter thing, you're doing it with the bass or like the chords, does this like swallowing kind of thing. That's very nice, but maybe try to do it more like with the mid bass also, and that it plays around like with the melody of the bass basically. Yeah, apart from that, maybe try to work a little bit more on the drums. Yeah, so either, I mean, it's all a matter of like which genre you're making. I mean, if it's more like into like organic house, I guess you want to do like more percussions, like bongos and all those kind of things. This is more like more of a melodic house track. So in order to spice up the drums, because now it's kind of static, it's like the shaker goes like all the time, and I mean, same here, you don't want to overdo it, but maybe add some small details here and there, like you can add like a second layer and just add like one hi-hat hit or something that you pan to the right or sometimes to the left, that plays just here and there to make it like a little bit interesting, more interesting. It's nice that you're making the track evolve all the time, so it's a bit more calm. You could probably make the lead sound stand out a bit more, maybe make it a little bit louder in volume and try to mix it a little bit better with the rest of the instrument. Again, this is just details. Also, one thing that you could do actually is to just to make the second drop hit a little bit harder. Yeah, because you're already doing that. Here only like a snap, like, and on the second drop you're having like a little bit heavier snare. Yeah, maybe try to because it's still hear what you're trying to do here, but that snare hit that playing along with the snap or clap or what it is, you can probably do make it go a little bit heavier. Maybe add some more reverb or try to change the sound in a whole. Try different snare sounds, play around with it a little bit. Maybe so it's like what can be a good example? Let me see here. Do I have a good example of because you don't want to do it like not like Eric Prydz. That's a little bit hard, I think. Yeah, or maybe something. Yeah, again, this is just small details, but maybe because I think it sounds a little bit weak, that snare sound. So maybe try work a little bit with that. Yeah, again, it's a great track. Maybe make the drums on the first drop here even more like calmer. Maybe put a filter on the drums or make them even tighter in the first drop, so you have like a bigger change to the second drop, like not like, and I mean that's a matter of taste, just to make the, basically you make the first drop even smaller and the second drop even bigger. Yeah, I mean that's it. The arrangement is good, the mix down is almost there. Maybe play around a little bit more with the bass, with the melody of the bass, and play around a little bit with the drums itself, like with the hi-hats, and make it a little bit more interesting. And the second drop, like make the snare drums a little bit heavier and harder. I mean not a lot, but just a little bit, to make the second drop hit harder and make the second drop a little bit bigger. I mean it's still like a chill melodic house track, it's not like a progressive big room track, but I mean I think you'll get the idea. Okay, great track, Khan's Universe. Let's move on to the second track. Okay, this one is Alchemist SL. We've been talking a little bit back and forth. This guy is making like organic house, like this really like I guess you'd say like psychedelic organic house. So yeah, let's listen to the track and see what I think about it, if I have any notes. All right. Okay. Sorry a little bit for skipping, but I mean, for the sake of the live stream, and especially when it's a quite long track, I'm gonna do a little bit of skipping. Okay. First of all, I think the drums is great, especially the percussions. This is a great start. I mean, you can probably see me like starting dancing right away, and because it's very rhythmic, very groovy. So great job with the drums, like with the actual like programming of the drums. I mean, just details. If we're gonna talk like mix down right away, but I would probably try to work a little bit more with the kick, because I want it to be a little bit tighter, probably a little bit heavier also, and probably like the clap sound a little bit tighter also. So try to work a little bit more with the kick and the clap and make it just a tiny bit tighter and work together. Maybe put the kick and the claps on a group together and use compression to really glue them together. But I mean, the rhythm of the drums is great. Yeah. Like really great programming with drums. In classic like organic house arrangement, you do like the drums. You have the kick, the drums going for the first minute, and then you introduce the bass. That's like the classic organic house arrangement, which is great for DJing also. One thing that I noticed like right away is the bass is great, very groovy, and really works well with the rest of the drums. I would probably want the bass to be a little bit tighter. It's a little bit like loose now. So probably try to change. I mean, you don't want the bass to be too short, so it starts sounding like a percussion, but now it's a little too sustained, I would say. So just work with the decay, make it a little bit shorter, I would say, a little bit tighter. But that's a great tune. It works very well with the bass, with the drums. One thing that the drums actually are missing are some low percussions, and you really want to be careful when you're doing with the low percussion, especially when you have a drums a bass that's pretty rhythmic also. But one thing that you can try doing is try to add like a low percussion just here and there that plays along with the bass. So make sure that the low percussion is in the same key as the root note of the bass. And also what I usually like doing is side chaining the bass to the low percussions, either with like a normal compression like the old-fashioned way, or you can use like what's it called, wave shifter. No, what it's called, sound shifter. No, it's not. Yeah, whatever. Wait, let me see here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up Logic and just see, but that's basically like a sidechain plugin that I use a lot, especially with the let me see here. Don't use, okay. Let me see, what's the plugin called? Yeah, Track Spacer. This is actually a great plugin for that. Track Spacer. Track Spacer by Waves Factory. Exactly. Yeah. So this plugin, it's very easy to use. Basically, you can see it here, but you just insert a channel that you're using as the trigger, and then you can just choose which frequencies that you want to duck. So basically, you can just have the low percussion as a insert, and then you maybe just ducking like from, I don't know, 200 hertz down to 20 hertz, and you can choose the amount of ducking. And also this is great. So yeah, so what I would try doing is try to add some low percussions. Yeah, some low percussions. I mean, you don't want to overdo it, but try to add it here and there and make it like play along with the rhythm, and make it also work with the bass. So make the bass a little bit tighter, add some low percussions, and you can also maybe try to remove some of the notes from the bass and make the low percussion. You want to replace like one bass note with one hit of the low percussion. That's also one thing. So the low percussions actually is part of the bass sound. Kind of. Just a tip, try to play around with it. Yeah, and this is like a really nice small like mini first breakdown, or whatever you would call it. One thing that I was thinking about right away is to like, I mean, it's still like a organic house track, but I think, and it's like not radio friendly at all, but you still want to do it, you still want to add, you still want to make it interesting for the listener, right? So like here, when we were doing the first mini breakdown, at this point where the drops start again, when the kick and bass starts playing, I was kind of expecting something more to start. Maybe like an ARP, like that you have like a filter on, maybe something that starts playing here that makes it interesting. Because here, now you basically have the same section here and here. I know you're adding some stuff along the way here that you're automating up, but try to add something new at this point also. It's basically the same thing. It should not sound the same all the time. So something like that. Maybe an ARP, some kind of melody, whatever. Yes, that starts playing here, but maybe with a high cut. So it's not too much in your face like right away, but probably try to add something new there to make it more interesting.
And the universe is still beginning now, and it's trailing off like the wake of a ship.
This kind of speech thing. So. And here the track starts to go out of hand, I would say, because here you can hear, I don't know if that's, it's like the background synths, whatever, but something is clearly out of key here. This synth or whatever it is in the background are out of key. So make sure, I mean, because all people don't hear if things are out of key. I mean, you can still be a musician. People make music without having the ability to hear if things are out of key or not. But if you're one of those people, make sure to check all the notes all the time and just learn the actual music theory, so you know which notes that can be played together basically, and which scales you're doing the track in, and what notes you can use. Because just because, like, I don't know if it's several instruments or just one instrument, but something is clearly out of key here, and for me it's unbearable to listen to. It's out of key. sure to check the instrument because something is out of key there.
Of human consciousness through meditation.
Yeah, and I mean the arrangement here is really good, like a big breakdown. People go like going down a little bit on the dance floor, like catching their breath, and then it builds up. And yeah, you can do like this, like an anti-drop. But here, things are out of key. From here, when you start introducing the synths, the bright synths or whatever, and here also you can do like things are out of key. So that's probably like the biggest takeaway. Like, make sure to check all the instrument and check the key, check the notes, and figure out what's in key and what's not. And more than that, I mean, I think you need like one main lead or something. I mean, it's still organic house track, so you don't, and it's not like a pop track, so it's not as important and as it would be like in a more radio friendly track, but you want to have some kind of recognizable lead sound, some kind of melody or whatever. I mean, even though it's organic house track, people do this all the time, so it's more recognizable, rememberable. So yeah, so try to find like a main melody or something, and it can be something subtle. It doesn't need to be like in your face lead, but some kind of melody or whatever that are really like, yeah, makes this song recognizable. So yeah, just to summarize, the drums are great. Try to add some low percussions in order to make it a little bit more groovy, and make sure that the low percussion works well with the sub bass. Make the kick a little tighter and work better with the kick and the clap. Maybe try like a multiband compressor or something in a separate group, and also make the bass a little bit tighter. And the biggest thing, check the keys, the key of all the melodic tracks that you're using, because something or several things are out of key. Okay, let's move on to the third track. This is from my bro Tempest. I'm super excited to check this one out. I haven't heard it yet. So yeah, let's listen to it. I will expect this is some kind of melodic house track, colorize kind of style. So yeah, let's listen and see how it sounds. So as expected, beautiful melodic house track. I mean, Tempest makes some great music for sure. And yeah, okay, so yeah, great track for sure. A few things, and this is all. I mean, Tempest is great at making music, so this is a lot of my taste more than like yeah, it's all a matter of taste. But I would probably say like the same thing about the bass as I did for the Cons Universe track. I don't know, he actually has some. You can hear he has some mid bass here, but maybe make it a little bit warmer, I would say, and play around with the automations a bit more. Yeah, you can actually hear that he has some kind of mid bass here, which is nice. This is actually a great example. If you're gonna watch this Cons Universe, this is a great example of the drums, because the drums here are very nice. It's still kind of like chill. It's not like an organic house track where you have lots of percussions going on and very groovy. This is more obviously like a melodic house track, but he still has these small hits and small percussions and like these things to make the drums very interesting. Yeah, some small hits, some delay bits, ear candies with the drums. And this is important to make the track sound professional, you know, because if you're just having like a shaker and a hi-hat, like, and then it sounds okay, but it doesn't sound like 100% professional. And these drums are great. It's great drums. The lead sound is great. I would probably try to play around a little bit more with the filter, not just automate it up and down and make it like each note, because I don't know if you're using Serum or Diva or whatever, but you can one thing that is nice is to program the velocity of the notes to the filter. This is a common thing that you do a lot, because then you can choose how hard you're hitting the note is how much you open up the filter. And this is a great way of making the lead sound, or the sound, whatever sound it is, sound very natural and organic, because each notes are playing with a different filter, with a different amount of the filter opened. And this is a great way. So maybe play around with that, because instead of just manually adjusting the filter for each note, because you want to make like yeah, you get the idea. Just to make it very organic and very nice. And that's very also when you're doing this trick and you have like a delay on the lead sound, and you maybe have the a filter on the delay, so the lowest notes don't really have a huge amount of delay, but the higher you go up in the frequency range, the more of the delay you get. And this is also like a nice thing, because when the filter opens up a lot, you get this delay that's playing out. So that's also like a nice detail that you can do. Yeah, so that's a nice thing. But yeah, what more? Yeah, and this is also just a matter of taste. I mean, I was kind of expecting like a vocal start playing in the second verse or second breakdown, but maybe try to introduce some bits of the vocals here in the first drop. And again, this is just a matter of taste, but maybe try to make some vocal chops, or like making some kind of ambience, like ambient pad or whatever with the vocal. You can do like you have just like a phrase or a word with a like really huge reverb, and then you resample that one, play around with that one, maybe looping it, putting it in the first drop here, just something to like tease with the vocal before when it finally starts playing for real. And this is, I mean, just a matter of taste. And also the vocals are nice, but maybe try some delay or something to make it a little bit more dreamy. I mean, obviously you have reverb here, but maybe make them a little bit more dreamy, if that makes sense. Like airy and dreamy.
The circles that I dance in, I lose myself. History repeating. People I keep meeting, I know them well.
These small like plucky sounds with a delay are very nice. Really great job. I would probably add like a bass somewhere in the breakdown here. Just an extra layer to make it interesting, but of course automate like a low cut on the bass, and you're cutting more and more of the bass until the second drop. You have to make the second drop hit harder.
Circles that I dance in, I lose myself. History repeating. People I keep meeting, I know them well. I know them.
Yeah, so maybe maybe try to add the bass here and make the low cut automation of the low cut. Well, again, just a matter of taste, but I think just to make the second drop, second breakdown a little bit more interesting. Yeah, again, very nice lead sound, but try to play around a little bit more with the filter and the cutoff of the filter, and something like that. And I would probably try to make the second drop a little bit bigger. Maybe have like a ride in the background, even maybe on the first hit, like or maybe even on the offbeat, like like a big ride, just to make it like really big. Something like that. But I mean, overall a great track. This is just some minor details, and the arrangement is there, and the idea and like the overall track is I would say like 85% there. This is just some small details, and again, this is just a matter of taste in my opinion. All right, so let's move on to the fourth track. This one is from Robin Rydén. I don't know. I guess this is like his Swedish name, Robin Rydén. Maybe, I don't know. Is he Swedish? Yeah, I guess almost all the listeners are from Sweden. Yeah, okay. So I guess he's called Robin Rydén. Yeah, so listen. Let's listen to the track and see what I think about it. So sorry for skipping a bit, but I see that this stream is starting to getting longer than I expected. But okay, so a few things. First off, the rhythm in the beginning is great, like this the rhythm with the low percussions. Yeah, so the low percussions with the rhythm. Yeah. Really nice. Make sure that the low percussions are in the right key. I can't tell if they are, but you can definitely hear it if they are when you play it together with the bass. It will sound much better. But just check so the low percussions are in the right key as the root note of the bass. Yeah, so the kick drum is a little bit too weak, I would say. Probably go with a kick drum, especially for this kind of almost like Afro house kind of style. I would probably go with something more that's have more body to the kick and less like high frequencies. Or maybe try this kick and remove some of the high frequencies, not remove it completely, don't high cut it, but maybe just lower the high frequencies a bit, just to make it more with more body. And I mean the piano is good, like the chords are nice. I would probably filter it more in the beginning, make it like maybe just play from 300 hertz, maybe 200 hertz in the beginning. And I mean, when you're using pianos, it's very important to play around with the reverb, because you don't want it to sound too like, I don't know, because this piano, I don't know if it is, but it sure sounds like it's a Nexus preset piano. And if you've been doing music for a while, especially like in the 2012 era when everybody was using the Nexus preset, you can, I mean, I don't know, I'm just like a bit allergic to like this Nexus sounding piano, and I'm not telling that this is, but it sure sounds like it, especially like with the long reverb on the piano. And yeah, so one thing to make the piano sounds like really organic and not like a Nexus preset is, first of all, put a filter on it, and usually don't ever play like above, I would say, like 10,000 hertz. And in the beginning let it play from maybe 300 hertz, and chill a little bit with the reverb also, I would say. You still want reverb, but not too much, and also make sure to cut the high frequencies of the reverb so they don't like play out for that long and you can really hear it. That's one thing to make it sound, because if you think about it, when you're playing a piano, like a real piano, usually you don't have that much of high frequencies, and you definitely don't usually have like a long reverb on the piano. So yeah, the piano are great, but try to play around more with filter, put a filter on top. And if you're using Nexus, maybe try to, I mean, you can still make Nexus sound not Nexus, but if you're using Nexus, maybe try a different yeah, I don't know, I mean, I'm using Contact, like Contact, the, what's it called, Contact, let me see here. I mean, Contact makes great stuff, but let me see here what I'm using. Let me see, just put out the preset here. Is it called the Grandfather? Yeah, the Gentleman. I'm always using the Gentleman because I love it. But I don't think if you like just to buy the Gentleman Contact. Gentleman. Oh, I spell like a. Let me see here. Yeah, it's not like yeah, you can see now it's $39. It's not a lot, and I think you can use the Contact player, which is free. The Gentleman is great. So yeah, I would probably try to change the piano sound and the reverb and put a filter on it just to make it sound more organic and natural. Okay, let me see, I wrote some things down. And also one thing, you're if we're still speaking about piano, because you're doing yeah, so the further you go with the track with this piano, add more notes, like ghost notes, and like boom 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 boom. You could probably do like a second layer, which are just playing these like add notes or whatever. So you have the main chords of the piano, and then you have these add notes, which are evolving throughout the track. So in the end of the track, in the last drop, you have a lot of different notes or whatever, you can imagine like you're starting playing very calmly, and then you're doing more and more and more. And yeah, it feels so weird using myself as an example, but I mean, just to show the idea, this is the track I did a while ago in the same kind of style. Pretty subtle and pretty built on it. You get the idea, just to make everything a little bit more interesting and make the track evolve throughout the song, basically. Yeah, I would probably say that, because the drums are great, or especially like the low percussions, and maybe try to play. Oh, let me see here. Yeah, so probably try to play around a little bit more around with that. Let me. I think I lost the track here. Yeah, and it feels like you're losing a little bit with the low percussions. So make sure to sidechain the bass to the low percussions. So when the low percussions are playing, you're ducking the bass, basically, using like this track spacer plugin or a sidechain compression or whatever, because you're kind of losing the rhythm and the groove from the low percussions when the bass starts playing. Yeah, okay, let's be a little bit quicker. Okay, so my bro Phil Odd, also a great producer. Me, Tempest and Phil did a track a few months ago called Closer, out now on Tikora Music. You should definitely check that one out. It's a great track, great contribution from both Phil Odd and Tempest. Yeah, okay, super excited about this one. So let's listen to it and see what I think about it. Super nice track, very radio friendly, 2 minutes long track. A lot of different from my usually like 7 minutes tracks, but this is a great song, really, really interesting. Yeah, no feedback on the mixdown. Actually, it is great. More about like the actual like sounds and rhythms and whatnot. I would probably try to play around a little bit more with the swing of the drums, just to make everything a little bit more groovy. I mean, again, don't overdo it, but maybe put a little bit more swing on the drums, add some like hits here and there, just to make it a little bit more groovy and like, yeah, a little bit more swing on the drums, I would say. But like overall, it's a great groove already. Yeah, a little bit more swing. Yeah, and this vocal is great. Maybe try a little bit more reverb and delay on it, and also try to spice it up maybe a little bit. Try to maybe use some distortion. I mean, Decapitator from Sound Toys, I think. I mean, it feels like I'm promoting to buy a lot of plugins, but yeah, I mean, you can use whatever distortion plugin. I'm sure you have a lot and your favorite, but maybe try some more distortion on the vocal, some more delay and reverb, and also and one thing that you can try is, instead of having like these high-pitched vocals playing together with the like main vocal, this low-pitched vocal, try to add like a synth that are answering to the vocal, like a vocal melody. So you have like the vocals, yeah, something like that, like a synth melody answering to the vocal melody. Just an idea. I mean, other than that, it's a great track, very radio friendly, very nice groove. Yeah, so maybe try to spice up the vocals a bit. In the second drop, maybe try to add some extra synth or whatever, like answering to the vocal melody, and also make the second drop more different from the first drop. And last, try to add a little bit more swing on the drums. Okay, so last one. This is going to be the last one I'm doing tonight. So Mau Hayes, I hope I'm pronouncing that one correctly. Yeah, Philo got the Decapitator, of course. He's a professional, of course he has. Okay, let's listen to Mau Hayes. Yeah, let me know if I'm pronouncing that one correctly. Last track of the day, okay.
And we all have this feeling that I came into this world. Now, it isn't true. You came out of this world. Like a leaf comes out of a tree.
Mau Hayes. this is not like my typical kind of genre or style that I'm listening to, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like the best feedback on this one. But this is giving me like 2012 kind of Skrillex kind of vibe. I don't know if you call it like melodic dubstep or like, what do you call it, like melodic bass? What do you call it, like melodic dubstep? Future bass, yeah, future bass. I remember I was doing this kind of style way back, like 2014 maybe. It was a huge thing back in the days. But yeah, I'm gonna be kind of quick with this feedback because, as I said, I'm not really listening to this kind of music, so I don't know that much about it, to be honest. But let me see. At least I can do like some kind of feedback on the mix down, and like at the first glance and the first listen of the track, I would say it's too sharp, too many instruments playing a lot of high frequencies. So because that's one important thing, that you really want to be careful with the high frequencies, because the high frequencies make your ears tired, and you don't want too much of the high frequencies, especially early on in the beginning of the track. One thing that you can do, especially like Skrillex does this a lot, especially if you listen to his latest like album, like the synths and stuff, or the synths are actually not playing that much of the high frequencies. He has probably cut like the synths at 10k hertz or something, and then he has like the hi-hats and all, and the effects and all those kind of instruments that are playing like the high frequencies. And that's a nice thing of that's a nice way of making room for like the hi-hats and stuff, and also you don't get tired with your ears doesn't get tired. But I mean, yeah, so the overall track here feels a little bit sharp with the high frequencies. Yeah, that snare or clap what is a bit high.
Now, it isn't true. You came out of this world. Like a leaf comes out of a tree.
Yeah, maybe add some claps here in the build up. I don't know. Cool drop. The kick needs more body, more punch. Not more punch, it's quite a punchy now, but more body, more low frequencies. It's kind of weak now. You really want like boom, boom. You want to go heavy with it. Listen to Skrillex old school kind of songs, or new songs also. Yeah, that's basically it. I can do, because I'm not listening to this style a lot, so I don't have a lot of feedback on the arrangement and stuff. But yeah, the mix down is quite harsh, quite sharp. Tone down a bit on the high frequencies, or choose what instrument that are gonna play the high frequencies and what instrument that are not going to play the high frequencies. So maybe high cut, or at least lower the high frequencies of the some of the instruments, I would say, and work a little bit more with the kick, so it has more body, more low frequencies, so it's really singing. You can really feel it, because that's very important with this kind of style of music, I would say. All right. I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks for everyone who was joining, and thanks everyone who was sending the tracks. And I hope that my feedback was nice and you can do something with it. All right. Thanks for today, and have a good night, everyone.